Hey everyone, Navik here. This is my review of Absolute Wonder Woman issue 2. Let's get to it. So, as we continuing on from issue 1, we got Wonder Woman still battling in Harbinger Prime and the rest of the Harbingers at Gateway City. And one weapon we get to see that was revealed near the end of the next issue is Wonder Woman's lasso, though it's not called the Lasso of Truth this time. This lasso is called Nemesis. And essentially, it kind of works like the Ghost Rider's penance stare. Basically, anyone ensnared by Nemesis is burned in proportion to their sins. And in Harbinger Prime's case, they're being burned earned in proportion to all the misery that the invasion of the Harbingers have cost us. And yeah, Diana gives them an ultimatum. Basically, the Harbingers will leave, even never come back, and she'll unbind Harbinger Prime, which he accepts, and this leads the Harbingers to retreat. And after that bit of a calm, we get into something that a lot of people who are familiar with Wonder Woman's history are probably the most curious about: her relationship with Steve Trevor. And yeah, as we see throughout the flashbacks, their origin is familiar. Steve ending up on an island and rescued by Diana, and only instead of the Themyscira, Steve ended up in hell, or the underworld, whatever you want to call it. And that raises a lot of questions about how Steve ended up in hell, how he in the present he ended up back at Gateway City. That raises up a bunch of questions, which that is one of the flaws I'm starting to notice about this series. This is very much a written for the trade series where it feels like, while the individual issues are fun and all, the story will probably read a lot better when they're all collected in a single volume. Which not the biggest fan of. I prefer issues standing on their own, but hey, what can you do? That's just the nature of the business, or the nature of the art form, as it were. But one thing that is clear here is that Diana and Steve's relationship is just really sweet. You can tell right away that these two really care about each other, that there's a connection between them. And even in modern day, like they're just happy to see each other again. And one thing, and yeah, with Steve even willing to stand up to Diana, introduce him to the commanding officer, Commander Cole, who, as we see, is kind of a blowhard in the vein of Thunderbolt Ross. And while we're talking, and this sequence in particular, again, allows me to highlight just how really creative the panel structure is that it's not just straight squares, here's our rectangles. Also, we got plenty of circles that kind of give each panel a unique feel. This book definitely has some of the most creative panel shaping and laying I've seen in some superhero comics. In particular, my favorite one is this Wonder Woman W-shaped one, where Diana is basically giving a lecture to Commander Cole, being a blowhard, and basically she is willing to help them fight against whatever the Harbingers were going to be the Harbingers of, but she's not their tool, she's not their weapon, and she will protect the innocents regardless of what they have to say. And after a cute little moment and a Wonder Woman and Steve bonding still, learning that Pegasus feeds on magic, they hear a horrific sound, and of course we learn what the Harbingers were actually being the Harbingers of. This thing, which, yeah, this 2-page spread really just shows just how massive this thing is, and the fact that it just appears otherworldly, like it should not belong in the same plane of existence as Gateway City and all the humans. And I love the design of it. It looks like something that's crawled straight out of Guillermo del Toro's nightmares. According to Wonder Woman, this thing is this is the Tetracide. It is death incarnate. All right, and the commander and the army are going to evacuate the city because the beast leaves nothing behind. So yeah, that's Wonder Woman. That's Absolute Wonder Woman issue 2. If you enjoyed the first issue like I did, then you'll definitely enjoy this one. And I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.